This is a short video about the Bonera add-on. Bonera is a collection of various useful rigging tools, and it just got updated with bug fixes and new tools. This is a paid add-on, and you can get 10% off the full price in the next few days. You'll find all links and coupon codes in the video description. Some months ago, I made an in-depth review of the add-on, so check it out if you want to become familiar with the whole toolkit. In this video, I'll show you what's new in version 1.1. So let's take a look. The new version of Bonera supports Blender 3. However, keep in mind that some of the features may not work with Blender 2.9 and earlier. The reason is that Blender 3 was a big release and it introduced breaking changes to the add-on API. Now let's check out some of the new and improved tools. One of the cool tools in Bonera is the Add Bone Shape tool. As you probably know, applying bone shapes can be confusing, so you may find it useful. I just need to go to pose mode for a rig, select a bone, and click Apply Bone Shape, and select any of these presets. This feature already existed in the previous version of Bonera, but now we also get these nice thumbnails, which is perfect for more visual people like myself. Another improvement is that we can apply a bone shape to multiple bones. I just need to select all bones that I want to apply a shape to, press the button, select the shape and press OK. Now I'm going to apply a shape to the head bone. Right after you add a shape, you can also use the model options here to change the location, rotation and scale of the shape right in the viewport. The add-on remembers the last settings that you used, but you can press the Reset Transform button to get the default values back. Bonera places the geometry it uses as custom shapes in a separate folder, which you can hide and unhide at any point. And you're not limited to these shapes here. If you go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, find the Bonera add-on and expand the add-on options. Under Bone Shape, you'll find the Open Bone Shape folder button. Just press it. And here you can open this template blend file. When you do, you'll get this file here, and it contains two objects. One is the actual widget, and the second one is the mesh that will be used for rendering the thumbnail. So first I'm going to edit the widget the way I like it. Let's say that I want to create some sort of arrow shape, something like this. And now to make the render object the same as the actual widget, I can select the render object, then shift select the widget and press Ctrl L and link object data. Okay, and then I'm going to press File, Save As, do not just override the file. Then I'm going to create a new folder. And this new folder will become a new collection of widgets. So I'm going to call it My Widget and save my file. So I have to restart Blender. Once Blender has been restarted, I'll be able to access my own custom bone shapes. I'll just select the bones that I want to affect, apply bone shape, switch to the category that I created, and use my own custom widget. A new tool in Bonera allows you to duplicate a set of bones and simultaneously constrain the duplicated bones to the original bones. If I have an armature and I go to pose mode or edit mode, it doesn't matter. I can select a couple of bones, for example this arm, and go to Utility, Duplicate and Constrain. And when I press OK, a duplicate of this armature will be created on layer 2 and it will be constrained as well. So here it is on the second layer. I have this new set of bones that are constrained to the original ones. If I go to viewport display and switch to B bone and make these bones a little bit thicker by pressing Ctrl Alt and S and switch to wireframe, then I can see what is happening. So if you've ever attempted to manually create an arm or leg with switchable IK and FK mode, then you probably know that you have to duplicate the original armature a couple of times and constrain it, and this tool can save you some time in these situations. Another new tool in Bonera allows you to quickly create twist bones. As you probably know, if you have a very simple rig for your arm, then twisting the hand at an extreme angle results in the so-called candy wrapper effect. That can be fixed with twist bones and Bonera will allow you to create them with one click. So I'll select the forearm where I want the twist bones to appear, go to generator, generate twist bone. With the subdivide value, I can choose how many twist bones I want. In this case, I want 4. You can choose what type of fall off will be applied to create the twisting effect. The default one will give me linear fall off, which is exactly what I want. The last twist bone usually doesn't move, so I'll keep this setting on. And then I can also set on which layers the new bones will be created. I'll just press OK here. And here I have my new twist bones. And now I'm going to recalculate the weights by parenting with automatic weights. And now if I twist the hand, the problem with the candy wrapper effect has been solved. Another new tool in Bonera allows you to convert a curve or a spline into bones. So if I have a spline and go to Utility, Convert Curve to Bone, and press OK, you'll see that an armature has been created and all bones are aligned with the spline. By default, this tool creates the bones and changes the display type to stick. But if I switch to octahedral, you'll see the usual bone representation. And if you want to have a better control of the number of bones that will be generated, you can do that as well. I'll start over and use the tool again. And this time I'll use the set resolution option and set the resolution to something like 6. Press OK. And here's the result. This tool can be useful when creating a Spline IK setup. At least in the current state of the tool, it only creates the bones along the spline. It doesn't do any of the constraining for you, but it does give you a quick base for a Spline IK setup. And if you want to learn how to create the actual setup, there is a really good tutorial about that by Dikko, and I'm going to try to link to it in the video notes. Now let's talk about IK for a second. Bonera already has a generator that creates IK controls with one click. So if I go to pose mode and select the shin of this leg and then go to generator, generate IK and press OK, that will automatically create an IK setup for me with a pole target as well. But let's undo. And now if I'm creating the IK setup myself, I would have an IK control bone like this and then shift select the shin and I could press Shift I and create the IK constraint. Here it is. And then I can also set up a pole target. So here I'll set my chain length to 2 and then I'll use this bone as the pole target. And as you've probably experienced before, as soon as you apply the pole target, your leg will twist like this. And you can kind of try to fix it by tweaking the pole angle value. But if you have Bonera, you can go to Utilities and fix IK angle and just press OK. And as you can see, that will automatically tweak the pole angle in a way that will bring the leg in its default position. And now if I try to disable and enable the constraint, you'll see that there is no difference in the pose of the leg. Okay, and this tool has one more mode, so I'm going to undo. And then again go to Utility, Fix IK Angle, and then choose the Align Bone option and press OK. And again, this will fix the twisting of the leg. However, you'll see that the pole angle has remained at 0. So instead of tweaking the pole angle, this second mode actually changes the bone roll. And that can be a little bit destructive for your rig. So use that with care. And in general, use the default mode of this tool, which tweaks the pole angle. But if you really know what you're doing, then you can use the second mode. Now for face rigs in Blender, it is very common that you need to create stretchy bone chains. And in my Dragon rigging course, I showed how to do this manually. First, you need to lay out your deform bones or muscle bones, and then the fun begins. You have to also create these so-called twig bones in between the muscle bones. And just imagine that you need to create each of these individually and place them exactly at the intersections between bones. And that's not all. Then you need to constrain all of these bones. Something like this, and I have to do this for all of the bones. And if you survive the whole process, then you have a setup that looks like this. Each muscle bone can be manipulated with the twig bones. Bonera can make this process a little bit, or I should say a lot faster. Here I have the muscle bones without any constraints on them. If I just select them all and go to generator, generate stretchy chain, and I'll press OK with the default settings. Now the default twig bones are a little bit big, but if I just change this setting, then it will be all set up for me. Okay, the whole setup took about 5 seconds rather than 20 to 30 minutes with the manual setup. The new Bonera also has a special tool for creating an eyelid setup. So this is quite specialized, but it can be useful when you need it. So in this scene, I have a face with a basic rig, and an eye bone is already controlling the eyeball. And now I may want to make the eyelids also control to this eyeball rotation. So I'll need some eyelid bones, and I can add these manually, but Bonera already has tools for that. So let's go to object mode, select the mesh, edit mode, select an edge of vertices here, and then I'm going to deselect some of the vertices. So now I can make Bonera create a bone on each of these vertex. I'm going to click create bones from selected, and I'm going to name my bones eyelid, and I'm going to give them the suffix of _L for left. Then under bind, I'm going to bind them to nothing because I'm going to add my own weights at the end of the process. And for tail option, I'm going to make these bones a little bit smaller and press OK. And I need to make them even smaller, I think. Okay, that will do. Then I'll go to object mode, select the new armature, shift select the initial armature that I had, press Ctrl J to join these armatures. Then go to edit mode. And I'm going to symmetrize the eyelid bones. Okay, now for the actual eyelid setup, I'm going to go to pose mode, select all of these bones in the eye area without the head bone. And then I'm going to shift select the actual eye bone so that it is the active bone. That is very important for this tool to work correctly. Then I'll go to generator, generate eyelid, press OK. And now if I rotate the original eye bone, you'll see that the eyelid bones are affected by it. So let's do the same for the other side. Okay. And now I can select my mesh, shift select the armature, parent with automatic weights to make these eyelid bones take effect. And now in pose mode, let's try to rotate the eye bone, and you'll see that the eyelids react to the rotation of the eyeball. So yeah, this is something that may take you quite a while to set up manually, but as you see with this Bonera tool, you can set it up in seconds. That's it for this update. If you're watching this video before February 2nd, 2022, you can get 10% off your purchase using the coupon codes I'll share with you. And if you need more info about the add-on, please watch the previous video. For more add-on reviews, rigging tips, and other cool stuff, please subscribe, and if you do, I'll talk to you in another video.